Earlier this week, I dropped a bunch of my Audi Quattro parts off to be powder coated. And while I'm waiting for that stuff to come back, I'm gonna stay busy by cleaning up some of the other parts on the car. Some of these parts I consider consumables like tie rod ends, axles, and hubs. I don't really wanna pay somebody to powder coat those because they might just get replaced down the road anyways. So I'm just gonna clean them up myself and hit them with the rattle can. Now I wasn't really planning on pulling the differential out of the car, but since I dropped the rear subframe, I kinda had to. And I always knew these cars had some type of locking rear differential, but check out this vacuum actuator. I don't think this thing has moved in a long time. It's definitely rusted so badly that it's seized, and I'm gonna try to get this working again. Right away, I noticed the plastic on this actuator was already cracking, so I used my plastic welder to fix it. It's basically like a little toaster that gets this staple-looking thing super hot and melts the plastic back together. I'm gonna get back to these axles now. These are from the rear, and they're pretty nasty. I'm gonna use a wire wheel to blast all this rust off, and then just hit them with a little coat of paint. I think the previous owner probably replaced the outer boots because they look like they're in pretty good condition, but I'm gonna replace the inner CV boots because they were only 15 bucks and they come with brand new bolts. I got the differential all cleaned up and it's sitting here ready to test this actuator. I'm gonna use the same vacuum pressure tool that I used to bleed my brakes, see if this thing actually works. So right now you can see that the diff is open and only one of the axles is turning. Let's give it some vacuum pressure. And just like that, you got a limited slip rear end. Hopefully this thing works just as good when I put it back in the car. And I also need to take a look at the center diff, make sure that thing's functioning. If not, it's gonna get the same treatment.